the symbol for negation is something like this. So that's symbol for negation. And the word for it is not. So that's that. The word for negation is not. Then for logical proposition, if the state, so you can now have statement for logical proposition. So if you say that Ade is brilliant, so what is negation of that? See, the negation of it is Ade is not brilliant. So that's that. And something you are going to know, if the negation is, if the statement is true, it means its negation is going to be false. But if the statement is true, is false, the negation is going to be true. So note that. Second, like here, see, Ade is brilliant. So if you say Ade is brilliant, that's the statement. So if they have to write out the negation of this, so the negation of this is Ade is not brilliant. So what I'm saying is that if the statement is true, its negation is going to be what? False. If it is true that Ade is brilliant, so it is false that Ade is not brilliant, and vice versa. So look at another thing. You have what you call disjunction. For disjunction, what you have for it, the symbol for it is this. Then the word for it is this. As we have this one as not. So the word for it is or. So if you say that the boy is brilliant and Olu is hardworking, so you can say that Ade is brilliant, Olu is hardworking. So look at it. Then for these two statements to have here, so you can use disjunction, or Ade is brilliant or Olu is hardworking. So that's that. So what I want to know here is that if you look at this statement, if you join them together with or, Ade is brilliant or Olu is hardworking. So you want to look at it. So at what condition are they going to be true? That this statement is going to be true together. So it's going to be true if at least one of the premises or component or what or the sentence is true. If at least one of them is true, so the statement is going to be true. Otherwise, it's false. So that's what you are going to know. If one is true, at least one. So two can be true. But if both are false, it means the statement is false. So that's that. Then you have what you call compound statement. So for compound statement, the symbol for it is inverted V. So the word for it is and. So like this. So you can have Ade is brilliant and Olu is hard working. So look at this one. Ade is brilliant and Olu is hard working. Two things here. So what you are going to know here is the statement can only be true if both premises or substatements are true. The statement can only be true. These statements together can only be true If both of statements there, Ade is brilliant, Olu is hardworking. If both of them are true, then the statement will be true. Otherwise, they are going to be it's going to be false. If either of them is true, so it's false, or both of them. So that's it. You need it when you are going to do truth table, because that's the component of truth table. Another one, you have conditional statements. Conditional statements, the symbol is this. Like you have an arrow like this. So that's call it imply. The word for it is if. If. So that's what you are seeing here. Like this. Because if Ade is brilliant, so you can say that then Olu is hardworking. If you study your book, you will pass your exam. So that's what we mean by conditional statement. A conditional statement will be only be false if the antecedent, like look at this. If you study your book, you will pass your exam. Now, it's if you study your book, so you will pass your exam. Now, this statement is divided into two. So you have antecedent, then you have the subsequent. The antecedent is this. So here is antecedent. You will pass is subsequent. So you have them divided like that. Antecedent. So this statement will only be false if the antecedent is true and the subsequent is false. You understand what I'm saying? The antecedent, you study hard, you fail. So logic say that is false. That you have eaten and you are still hungry. So you say that's otherwise the statement is going to be true. So true. If you study hard, you will pass. That's true. But you may not study hard, you can still pass. That's possible. And then if you don't study, you will fail. That's true. So that's that. Then another one you see here is by conditional statement. For by conditional statement, what you have here is this. So the word for it is if and only if. If and only if. So here is two conditional together. If and only if. So you can see you make use of that one. That if you study hard, if only if you study hard, you pass your exam. So simple as that. If and only if you study hard, you pass your exam. So you have it like that. When is this statement going to be true? It will be true if both statements are either true or false, otherwise they are false. What I'm saying is the conditional statement will be true if both statements are what? Either they are both true or they are both false, then it will be true. Otherwise, if either of them is true, so it means they are going to be what?